And shout out again to all those people who hate my guts, but is sitting in a quiet place listening to my show. You are obsessed and sick, okay? Okay, I'll be right back, and let's get into stuff now.
All new Talk with Turk. Power 109 Radio. Power through Anchor.
New music. I'd rather be your beat, baby. Cause that's what you gon' call me when I'm tripping anyway.
Make that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion.
Tune in 24/7. Power 109 Radio. It's always a turn up. Feels good with your number one hip hop and R&B station. Power 109 Radio. Number one for hip hop and R&B.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the world premiere on Power 109 Radio, my new talk show, radio show, Talk with Turk podcast. Thank you to the Power 109 family for this opportunity. For you guys who do not know me, let me go ahead and break you down a little bit. So, hello, my name is Darian Lynch, also known as TURKBISH. That's been the brand for over 10 years. I'm an alumnus of the number one HBCU in the country, the illustrious North Carolina A&T State University. I am a content creator and influencer who has a top 200 entertainment news podcast called Talk with Turk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Audible, Amazon Music, Odyssey, and many, many more platforms. Talk with Turk is bringing you discussions and personal commentary on music, entertainment, celebrities, politics, love, health, and happiness. My show has charted in multiple countries, including US, Turkey, Sweden, Germany, and Russia. My show is about uplifting and delivering daily news. I have interviewed a few people in the industry, such as Jerome Trammell of Fox Soul, Tyon T.C. Christian, singer-songwriter for The Brandy, Keisha Cole, and many more. Sapphire Eden of Jocelyn's Cabaret. I have charted amongst other great podcasts like TGIF, featuring Claudia Jordan, Funky Dineva, and Al Reynolds, as well as the Tamar Braxton's Under Construction podcast, and many more, just to name a few. So I have networked and met many celebs, including Nicki Minaj, Tinashe, Carrie Hilson, Lil Wayne, Kenny G, LaToya Luckett, Ashanti, Bow Wow, Omarion. I just met Monica, and many more. It's many more I can name. SZA. I'm out here networking, you guys, and now I am a radio podcast host on the one and only Power 109 Radio. So thank you to Blaze and everyone at the Power 109 Radio station. It's time to deliver y'all some good content. Tune in on all platforms and subscribe and review my show, guys. You can share it everywhere. You can find me everywhere, and I'm pretty sure they're going to upload the links and everywhere so you can find me. All you got to do is type in Talk with Turk in Google. Yes, I'm an entity. You can Google me, you guys. So tune in. So I got a good show for you guys. So I got some good music, some interviews today, and some good celebrity entertainment news. I have the one and only battle rapper and King of the Crips, OG Percy, interviewing today. And I have the one and only, the beautiful, the stallion, Sapphire from Jocelyn's Cabaret Season 1 and 2. So I want to thank them guys for being able to be a part of my show and just supporting me in every way that they can. So let's get into some good entertainment news, you guys. I got some good news for y'all. So let's talk about this versus, man. So this versus Ray J and Bobby V versus Sammy and Pleasure P, and then you had Omarion and Mario at the end of it. Now let's talk about it a little bit, because Ray J, he was getting on everybody's nerves, it seemed like. And he only had a few hits, and he felt like he was being disrespected. So him and Sammy had some back and forth throughout the whole night. They were throwing darts and daggers at each other. And, you know, it was supposed to be unity. But, I mean, this Versus was unorganized, to say the least. It was very unorganized. Bobby V, he was okay. I mean, he was just cheesy. Ray J was still acting like he's a teenager. Sammy, he's up there giving his stats and saying he's that nigga. I mean, we know your songs. We love your music, man. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you're not great as the other greats. You're not no Chris Brown. You're not no Usher. So, you know, like, we support you for what you need to be supported for. You know, don't be out there gloating and saying you this and that, you know, coming for other people, because at the end of the day, y'all all are kind of on the same level field. Then you got Pleasure P. Pleasure P, he still tries to do his thing, you know, with the vocals here and there. I mean, but all four of them, like, Sammy had great vocals as well in the night. Out of those four, before Omarion and Mario came out, he had the best vocals to me out of all four of them. And that's just hands down. Now, Omarion and Mario ate Omarion to pieces. He kept bringing them hits, and he kept giving him vocals the whole entire time. Omarion kept being cheesy, doing stuff like bringing a watermelon out and eating it like it's a girl's poom poom. Like, come on, man. Like, I got secondhand embarrassment, and the blogs were going crazy. They were joking. Social media was lit and in a blaze and an uproar and just laughing at this man. It's just crazy. So, I mean, but all in all, you know, I just think they need to find more structure when it comes to these verses, man, because it shouldn't be unorganized. If this is for us, by us, make it great, you know, because they already think that we're not good in these spaces when it comes to entertainment news, when it comes to producing and things of that nature. So we need to show them that we are professional and we bring the heat, and we're going to give it to them 100% every time. So Versus, get it together, you guys, for the next time y'all have another Versus. So that's all I'm going to say. For you guys who watch, you know, TV, The Chi is back on Showtime. Season 5 has now aired. It just aired on, Showtime, I believe. Yeah, so Showtime. It just came out the other day. So you guys check that out if you're into that. P-Valley is on Stars. It's 3 episodes in now, and it will be 4 as of Sunday, today, when this airs. So check that out, you guys, in your meantime, in your spare time. If you ain't got nothing to do, if you're relaxing on Sundays, just check that out. So, recently Madonna brings out Saucy Santana to perform a remix version of Material Girls. Now, if you guys know, Madonna has her own Material Girls song that she recorded back in the 90s. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 90s, I believe. And they meshed it for stage purposes and performance purposes. So, her and Saucy Santana, she brought him out, she embraced him, gave him the floor. So, I think when he's performing with someone like Madonna, this man has made it. So he's taking strides for the LGBTQ plus community. So shout out to all of y'all out there. So let's talk a little bit about politics, because like I said, I'm gonna bring y'all different stuff. It's not gonna always be about hip-hop and R&B. I need my people to be up to date and current with everything that's going on in the world. So the Senate has passed a bipartisan bill to address gun violence and safety. It's the first major bill to address these issues in nearly 30 years. So I think this is very important, and I think that we need to keep our eyes out on this, because with all of the turmoil going on with people being shot dead by gun violence and losing their lives, innocent people, grocery stores, public places, it's just sad to see. I can't stand to see shit like this, man, like for real. So I just think this is a good first step, and we need to get the people behind it. Now that the Senate has passed this bill, we just need to get the people behind it as well to continue to support it, because we need to do something. Black people are losing their lives at the hands of white supremacists, and it's sad. It's sad that they don't want us to live in this world. They don't really care about us, like Michael Jackson said. So that's all with the politics right now. Let's switch it up. So Netflix lays off 300 employees amid the Monique settlement. So if you guys don't know, Monique sued them. There was a big lawsuit with her and Netflix, and she sued them for a pretty piece of change. But before the courts could do what they do, make a verdict and all of that, Netflix decided to settle. And they said that Monique got a pretty piece of change. So shout out to Monique for making change for black women, black comedians in these different spaces that are owned by powerful white men. So shout out to Monique for winning that case. Netflix lays off 300 people. So dang, y'all had to pay Monique, but y'all taking money out of people's pockets now because y'all got to pay people from lawsuits left and right, and then y'all going up on y'all prices. Are y'all broke, Netflix? I mean, I did cancel mine, so I don't think I need that shit no more because they charge $15.99. If that's the price right now, I'm not paying that. There's some other apps out there that's cheaper and way better. Shout out to the Peacock app, Tubi. You can get all your free shows and movies off that app. And then I have Hulu and I have HBO Max, and they do me justice. So, and Zeus, of course. I gotta have my ghetto ratchet TV like Jocelyn's Cabaret and Bad Boys Club and Baddie South, which is streaming now, so you guys check that out. And shout out to Zeus over there. That's another network we need to support. For us, by us. It might not show us in a great light, but at the same time, it gives us a step in the right direction to own our own stuff and to become powerful. Just like, look at Tyler Perry at the OWN network, and Carlos King is now getting a big hand in his share at the OWN network and new shows and things of that nature. So we need to support things that are owned by black content creators and producers and people in the industry in Hollywood, everywhere. So just think about that, you guys, when you are utilizing services and businesses. Now, I'm not saying all black businesses will give you great service and that you don't always have to support them, but just think about it and assess the situation, the business, or whatever the matter is, and support them from that point forward if you feel like you should. But let's get back. Let's talk about some music right now. So Beyonce and Drake dropped this past week, and they both brought new sounds. Now, Beyonce dropped Break My Soul. You Won't Break My Soul is the lyrics of the word. And she sampled Robin's Show Me Love from back in the day. That was a very house song, EDM, pop, and she sampled that. And I think it was great for her to drop that in, like Pride Month and stuff like that. So it was very smart marketing idea. So shout out to Beyonce. Drake did the same thing. He dropped Honestly Nevermind, and it had that type of sound as well. And I think that they are taking back the industry one by one. If you look at how music has went this year, all of the greats have been dropping, and there's more to come. I feel like Rihanna's next, Nicki coming, maybe some Katy Perry, just people that were running the industry during the millennial time. So just think about that. I think that we have good music in store this year from music's biggest artists. They've been in hiding for the past few years, but they're popping back out left and right. After a class action lawsuit beginning in 2019, 200,000 student loan borrowers have been notified their loans are canceled. Department of Education is said to have canceled $6 billion. So shout out to all those people. I don't know if I'm one of them. I hope that I get a letter saying your student loans have been canceled or written off or something, because I went to school for too long and I'm still in school, and I'm going for a second master's right now. So y'all can only imagine how much I've racked up. And I plan on going to get my doctorate in a few years. So, I'm trying to figure this shit out too. So hopefully these student loans can cancel for everybody. Caesar is fired from VH1. Caesar has a shop, Black Ink, in New York City, and has Black Ink Crew on VH1 that streams every year, and he just got fired. Now, they said that taping was almost finished and wrapped, and so it will not affect the new season that has already been filmed, but they let him go. And I just think, that is karma, because after all the things he's done to the women that's been on that cast, like kicking them off and showing them in a negative light, things come back to you twofold. I hate that it happened to him like this, but you can't go out here beating dogs with chairs and not think there's going to be consequences for platforms like VH1, big production companies, to keep you on air. It's not going to happen. So sorry it happened, but is life. So I'm going to cap it off with the new music you guys need to check out. Chris Brown's new album, Breezy, just dropped. It's Breezy season, so you guys check out that new album. It's nothing but bangers, 24 tracks. It flows, is a vibe, get you a blizzy, smoke to it and vibe out. Drake's new album, Honestly Nevermind, it's so-so. A lot of people have different views on it. I enjoy it myself, so I don't have no problems with it. Givion's new album drop. Lil Durk album drop. Beyonce's new single drop. 5EO Foreign has a new single out with Coyle Ray and Queen Naja called What's My Name, sampling Beyonce's and Destiny's Child Say My Name. Then you got Lil Nas and NBA Youngboy just dropped. Check that new track out. Brent Faiyaz just dropped a new track. 21 Savage and Bia just dropped a new track. And then you got Brandy, who dropped the performance on YouTube. And then Usher and Monica, who have a Tiny Desk. So you guys check out all that new music. I'm going to bring you the news as I promised. And so I'm going to go ahead and close this segment out. We're going to get into some music. And I want you guys to keep rocking with me for my next interviews that are coming up. And we're going to cap this thing off right. Shout out to Power 109 once again. Thank you for tuning in to Talk to TURKBISH. Alright, so welcome to an all-new episode of Talk with Turk. I want to thank everybody for tuning in constantly. This is the first airing of my episode on Power 109 Radio. I want to thank Blaze for giving me the opportunity for putting my podcast on this big platform. And it's on radio. We're hitting the radio waves after our chart-topping success all around the country. And I have a special guest today on the first episode. Let me do a little introduction for you guys real quick. You know, I came a little prepared. So the guy that I have here today with me goes by the name of OG Percy. He is an American battle rapper from Fort Worth, Texas. He currently has 14 battles cataloged, which total over 5 million views. And he has had a very, very, very long life that he has experienced so many things in, and I'm glad to have him here today. You might have seen him on Vlad TV and a couple other outlets like the 85 South Show. Shout out to them as well. I want to bring on Mr. OG Percy. How you doing, Mr. Percy?
Okay. Glad to be here, man. I sure appreciate you inviting me, man.
Of course, I appreciate you for being on such a platform. Once again, shout out to the Power 109 Radio for making all of this happen. So, of course, we're going to do it right for them on the first airing of my show. So, I'm glad to have you here today. Now, everybody that is in hip-hop and, you know, in the rap game and in gangster culture, we all know who you are. As soon as I mentioned to the guys that I work with at the Power 109 radio station, who I was going to try to interview for the first episode, they were floored. They was like, that's amazing. We all know him. He's a legend. So I want to go ahead and let everybody know what you got going on currently in your life. Can give them a little history about who you are, where you came from, and we're going to deep dive into that.
Let's go, man. It's OG Percy, Show No Mercy, man. From Fort Worth, Texas, man. Born in a little small town called Midland, Odessa, down in the west side of Texas. I came to Fort Worth when I was around 3, due to my sister having a real bad heart, to where my family couldn't find doctors down in the west side, the little country town. So we came down this way around when I was 3 years old. Good with both parents, father and mother. They separated when I turned around the age of 7. And I grew up in a church household, man. My mom's a minister. I have 4 siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters, but now I'm down to 1 brother, 1 sister. Lovely household, man. Came up in church, playing the drums, playing in the choir, playing for the drill team. You know, the church kid, you know, the average pastors and reverends child. You know what I'm saying? Of
course. But
due to the time, you know, coming up, you know, I learned one thing about life. It's called life. Everybody had their own. Everybody had their own. I don't know what mine was supposed to turn out. My mom turned out to be a minister. That probably wasn't, you know, God's plan for me. But His plan for me is what He had for me. I tell everybody I'm God's creation. I am God's creation. People always ask you, who are you? Do you know who you are? Of course I know who I am. I'm what God created. You get what I'm saying? And I know that now. Back then in them days, I didn't. I had to grow into it, and I appreciate it. And I thank God for allowing me a chance to even be able to say that today. But during them times, man, you know, I went to the thing they call when we was coming up the world. When I was going to church, everybody saying you end up in the world. I kept saying, what is the world?
Yeah.
The world. I kept hearing people say the world. I never knew what the world was. And then I found out as I got older, we've been secluded from the world, coming up as church children, you know. And I learned that people say, when did you get in the streets? When did you get in the streets? Hell, I couldn't remember when I got in the streets. But when I found out and I did my homework, I got in the streets when I got in school. How about that?
Yeah.
That's when I got in the streets. When I got in school, when I wasn't around the Bible study, the BTUs and the Sunday schools and the brotherhoods, when I went around stuff and I was at school, that was called the world, and I met people and I met children of the world.
Of course.
I put it like that. And coming up in school, man, it's one thing that's called culture. It's called tradition. It's called in style. And when you're not in style, you're out of style. And one thing about coming up around a lot of children, man, kids in school are very cruel. They're gonna let you know you don't got on Jordans, you got on some bull crap.
That is very true.
You know, and that's saying to say this, you have to stay in style. The sad thing about my style coming up, Michael Jackson was in style, Thriller was in style, Beat It. Everybody was trying to do the Thriller at their talent shows. I believe that was the last of the good times, because after that came gangbanging. That was the next thing that was in style.
And see, I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't understand, you know, growing up, we had to succumb to a lot of peer pressure most of the time. You know, even for myself growing up, you know, I had to notice that too. You know, was I going to get into the things that were to be considered in the in crowd? And, you know, even like, it might have been for yourself, you know, that the in crowd may have, you know, getting into the streets, making a way to survive and things of that nature. So if you could explain, you know, to the people, how did that go for you when you first got into the streets, your experience with it, you know, being locked up, because we hear a lot of interviews from you talking about your experiences in jail. We see on YouTube, of course, like I said, Vlad TV, and you've been on 85 South Show. So could you talk about your street experience and, you know, being locked up and how that experience has been for you?
As a young kid, man, I came up working. I got my CNA at McKinney Job Corps. I was a certified nurse's aide. I worked every day. I never was. I feel like I was a tough kid without the gangs. You dig what I'm saying? And when gangs came in style, it was either get in style or get gone. I came up in a gang infested city, which is Fort Worth, Texas. One of the first gang banging cities that ever hit Texas. You know, you got big cities like Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, but Fort Worth, the little small town Fort Worth, was the first city to pick up the culture of Crips and Bloods. And we wasn't taught structure when it came to gang banging. The guy that came down here gang banging, he got killed at 17, so that let you know he wasn't nothing but a child himself. I'm 52 years old this day, so that let me know he was just a kid when he got killed. But you either got in, you either bang or you got banged back in them days. And I choose to get into the gang, sneak away from the church. You know, it's too much church for me. I went to church all day. Monday, Bible study. Wednesday, prayer meeting. Thursday, choir rehearsal. Friday, youth choir rehearsal. Saturday, everybody else choir rehearsal. And Sunday back to church. That was my route. Church. Yeah, much church. So
and that's most of our roots too, you know, growing up with our religion being like the number one thing that we have to like bury us in, to kind of like keep us from thinking about all the bad things that are going on with us in the world. So, you know, they try to do that to us, but I really like the fact that a lot of people don't just think that's all life is about. It's just church.
Right. So but when it's pushed on you and you know, through our ancestors, because that's all they know.
Yeah. But that's a different discussion for a different time. You know, like we can really go deep into some of those your theories and things like that, because I really think that stuff is interesting. But I think religion definitely plays a part into the role of our lives as adults. So
you better believe it. You better believe it. You know how I just sit here and talked about how much church I had and how much I didn't want. The cold thing about that, it played a good part in the long run. It played a very good part that I didn't even see coming.
Right.
I know the Lord's Prayer. When I did decide to be a bad kid and try to be the gang member that I didn't know that I was and didn't know nothing about the law, I didn't know that, when you play a sport, you got to learn the rules first. That's the first thing you learn in a sport, the rules. Well, you want to be a gangster, you need to learn the law first. You want to be in these streets. So that's one thing that black folks is ignorant to, is the law. And I jumped my butt out there and became a victim of the law. And one thing about the law, it don't discriminate. Crime is crime. Yep. You committed, you out of there. You gonna pay the same consequence that little Johnny paid too. They don't care because your mama a preacher. They don't care because you go to church every Sunday. That means nothing. They don't care about the choir writing notes and the preacher writing you a letter and saying you're a good person. That means nothing when a crime is being committed. But I had to learn the hard way. I ended up being incarcerated at 17, breaking in houses, doing the little stupid stuff the kids do. And that's when I learned the hard way that it ain't no such thing as homeboys. It ain't no such thing as loyalty. The same guys I broke in the house with was the same ones got on the stand and told it on me. And so I learned the hard way. Coming up in my life, I hit every hole in the road besides death. That I feel. I hit every hole in the road. And during those trials and tribulations, God was with me through all of them. He let me know that. But I came up in the system. I ended up going to prison 3 times, a state jail 4 times, and incarcerated over 28 times in the county jail. So I couldn't stay out for like 9 months was the most I ever stayed out since I was 17 years old. And I don't brag about that. I heard a lot of people come on, I just did 30 years, I just did 20 years, I just did such and such year. But that let me know how far behind in life you are. You understand me? That don't make you big and bad because of the time you did. It just let me know how much life you done wasted. I don't brag about the time that I did. I brag about the time I've been home and God blessed me not to go back. I've been home going on 12 years now. I've been going home. I've been off parole over 10 years. I haven't slept on a mat. I haven't kicked a cat, and I haven't ran a stop sign.
That's amazing, bro. I like that you're telling your story like this so a lot of other people can hear, there's more to just being incarcerated, and when you get out, there's another life that you can definitely lead. And like earlier when you mentioned, how the law doesn't discriminate against nobody, that's what I most importantly wanted to ask you about. Do you feel like when it comes to black men, do you feel like the law is representing black people and is disproportionate, like everything as far as like locking black men up and giving them different sentences than the average white man that may commit a crime? Do you feel like it doesn't represent us in the best way? Or do we get equality and social justice in terms of the law? How do you feel about that?
That's an easy question. That'll never happen. We'll never be looked at equally. We had to fight for our humanity. You get what I'm saying? It was hard for them to look at us as humans. That's the coldest thing. They never looked at us as humans. And that was one thing we had to beg. That's one thing that black folks had to do was cry, beg, march, get shot down with water hoses, get stoned, beat by clubs, and just for humanity. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That was a cold thing. So never think if they didn't want you then that they want you now. Because they've never changed places. Those seats have never changed. Those seats have never changed. Those judges, yes ma'am, those judges that owns those seats and chairs and stuff, they never change. You understand? They're still in high positions until you wipe all of that out and clean all of that out. We'll never get a first shot. But the sad thing about black people, we have to learn. You have to go in there. You have to learn the law. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why we get lawyers, because that's one thing black people don't know is the law. You understand
That's
me?
true.
So
That's true.
it's the old thing that the black folks say: the game's to be sold, not to be told. You understand me? So that's one language. Everybody speaks Ebonics and we cool and we chilling and all that. But it's one thing black folks haven't learned, and that's court talk. You can't speak court language, because if you did, they wouldn't have to hire you a lawyer.
That's true. That's true.
And that's one thing we haven't learned. So no, what you don't know will hurt you.
That's right.
Ignorance to the law is your fault. That's what they tell you in the courtroom. So no, they're not going to teach you that. So no, we'll never get a first sheriff if you don't know.
Right.
Let me tell my mom, mama, stay focused. I love you. Okay, love you. Okay, mom. Yes, ma'am. Okay,
let's
so
go ahead and shift the focus a little about. Let's talk a little bit about battle rapping. You know, we know that you have a lot of battle raps out there floating around the net. How did you get into that, and how is your career going in terms of battle rap now? Do you still partake in it? Is it something you still do? Or are you mentoring in it? How's that going?
Let's go. My son came to me one day just like a little kid. He said, "Daddy, they doing battle rap." No, my son been watching me rap since they was kids. And he came to me one day and he said, "Daddy, they finna bring battle rap to Fort Worth live from the block, and they looking for people to do it, you know." And he been on the little old station. So he said, I told him my daddy can do it. So he came to me and he was like, "Daddy, can you battle rap? Can you do it for me one time? Go in and let him know you could." And so I said, "Sure." And so when I went to go, I told him, let me see what they talking about. He put it on and I was looking, I was like, where the beat at? There ain't no beat. I'm old school. I'm old school. You say battle rap, I'm waiting for the beat to come on. I'm finna bust me around.
Right.
There's no beat. That threw me off. And then I looked at it, I said, "Oh no, son, I ain't finna do that right there. That ain't me." And then my son gave me a look that I never forget. It was like, man, I told him my daddy was cold. I told him my daddy. He gave me that look, and he meant that. And I felt like a father that was asked to go to the the field day and didn't sack race with the kids.
Yeah.
So I had to do that, and I jumped in there, not to do nothing. I just wanted to make my son proud of me and let him know, Daddy, win, lose, or draw, that I do it for him. Didn't know that it did. I went in there and I battled a guy named the Beast, a school teacher, rated school teacher. Shout out to the Beast. He brought his whole fraternity in there. I just knew I was doomed. For me being a guy with no education, no GED, no diploma, and these guys being highly educated guys, high school, college, and got good degrees that put words together backwards and forwards, and I don't even know no words. So for me to get in there and do my thing, that was one of God's plans. That's I'm gonna stick to that at all times. He seen me through that battle, and I won that battle. When I won it, the next week I was on the radio station because they were saying that was one of the best battles they've seen in Texas lately. I was like, what? And they put me in there again. They said, well, he can't do it again. I went in there and I did it again. I was like, dang. Okay. And so they said, well, he got lucky. Let's put him up against somebody that know what they doing now. But I was like, shoot, I don't know what I'm doing yet. This is just my third one. I get in there and so on and so on and on. I learned one thing. A guy came to me, he said, Percy, you battle rapping and your raps are a lie. Cause when I looked at the battle rappers, I looked at them, I was like, man, these guys don't fly spaceships. These niggas don't kill people like that. They lying. They lying. They ever talking about popping the head, I catch you there, you will, man, you a lie. You're not gonna do that. You gonna end up in the penitentiary and be a punk somewhere. Somebody gonna tell you, cause you ain't built like that to be killing all these people on stage like that. So my thing was this, to tell the truth when I got it, to be me, be real, because the stuff they was talking about, I really been through. They haven't. They just rapping about it. I became one of the highest viewed battle rappers in the South due to believability. People believe what I was telling. People check my background. People see was I lying. And they found out this guy is not lying. He's really battle rapping, but he's telling the truth. And it's hard to find a guy that'll rap something that's believable.
Right.
That took me all the way to the Super Bowl of battle rap. I made it to Shocktober 1, Shocktober 2, and Shocktober 3, where I ended up battling North New Jersey Moon, one of the high-ranking battle rappers in the game. And I couldn't believe I was standing in front of Moon. I felt like it was a dream. And I battled OG Moon, and I ended up winning against Moon. After I beat Moon, Moon got 2 brothers, and me and Moon became so tight. During that battle, from him being North New Jersey and me from being, we never even talked. During the battle coming up, we just knew we had to stand in front of each other. But I did my homework on him, and he had brothers like I had brothers. And come to find out, when I first met him in the club, before we got on stage, he walked up, he said, "There he is." And I said, "There he is." And he had his brother, I had my brother. And his brother wanted to meet my brother, and I wanted to meet his brother. And so on and so on. We did our thing, and we had a relationship after that. And my brother got murdered after that. My brother stood on side of me every battle that I've had. You can see my big brother on side of me with the glasses on. That's AD. A very respected and good man. He lost his life in the streets, and it changed the part of me. I want to get on stage without him being there. To give you the game on that, I practiced on my brother. I used to practice on him. I used to use him to be the opponent. Every day I had to, he had to stand there and I got to go against him, and he get tired of it. He just, "Oh, go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead." Yeah, he'll let me do my thing, even, and then, as much as I feel like he don't want to hear this mess, but I have to study. But he would sit there every month, every week, every day, every Friday, and every time he came to battle time, he'd be like, "OG Percy, let's hear it. Let's see if you're ready." And one thing I knew about my big brother, he couldn't rap a lick or none of that, but he knew what I was supposed to say next, because he's been hearing it for the last 2 or 3 or 5 months of me studying. Without him being here, man, I haven't had the will. You know what I'm saying? I don't have him there. I don't have him on myself. I was saying to myself, I think I got one more in there for him. I think he want me to at least go in one more time. I don't think he want me to drop it like I've been. So before the end of this year or the beginning of next year, I'm hoping, which it'll be very easy. All I gotta say is I want one, and they'll come out the woodworks trying to get it. But I don't want to battle nobody. If I battle Moon last, I need somebody high up there just like Moon would. I don't have to start from the bottom. But I do have some rhymes wrote and some rounds ready for anybody that wants some. You hear me?
I know that's right.
Yeah, but they deserve them. I don't really think they want them, because I got a lot of anger and a lot of stuff built up in me where I've been writing. So I think the next person standing in front of me, he won't get one round in. And I believe that.
Well, it sounds like, y'all, we might be getting another battle rap from OG soon.
You heard it first on her.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and start closing on us out for our segment today. I want to just leave off by seeing, what are your thoughts about the state of the culture right now in terms of hip hop, battle rap, music, and just everything going on in the world right now? How do you feel?
I wish that there was a word that I was looking for that. I talked about it Sunday. I just wish God would just give us deliverance. That's what it was. Deliverance is the word I'm looking for our culture. For our culture, some understanding. The youth of the day has none. The churches, the grown folks died and the young folks left. There's no churches. There's no picnics in the park no more. There's no softball playing no more. There's no volleyball games going on. There's nothing but shooting, destruction, and pull-ups and drive-bys. The sad thing, I looked at a series of Roots, and I did a lot of studying the Black history, because I never was taught in school, but the internet teaches me well when I study it. And what hurts me the most is how much our Black folks went through to get to where we were supposed to be, and we got there and we turned on each other. The saddest thing to me is Black folks get out here and pick up these picket signs and do all this marching and jumping around and throwing bricks through windows and blowing up cars, and for a police killing a nigga. But my thing is this: niggas kill niggas every day, so why we get mad when a cop kill one?
That's true. That's very true.
I'm not understanding. It seemed backwards to me. They kill one and we go crazy, but we kill every day our own kind like it's nothing. Where's the bricks thrown then? Where's the riots at then? You dig what I'm saying? I just seen a funeral last Saturday where a 15-year-old went in that house and killed a 19-year-old. Let me tell you something. No one said nothing. The hood don't. Everybody in the hood know, just around that little piece of that neighborhood know. But it was like it was nothing.
Yeah.
15-year-old got in here with a hole in his head and water coming out like a water fountain. You got to be kidding.
Yeah,
you hear me? But my thing, no one said nothing. The balloons flew in the air. The dirt was through on him, and it's on to the club the next day.
That's true. That's true.
My brother was murdered on the side of the club partying on his birthday. Some guys walked up there too. It took 2 guys to kill 1 good man. I don't understand. My brother was just having a good time. When I ran down there to see my brother land in that car, he had 1 foot outside the car and a cigarette in his hand. That let me know he wasn't thinking about nothing but listening to his music, jamming. But my thing is this. They put that case on the shelf and went on with their lives. I have to deal with that. The sad thing about it, let me tell you the truth about that, and I had to learn a lesson, and everybody else will learn a lesson. You will reap what you sow. I've had to find a very, very special spot in my heart for that situation. That was a totally good reason for me to end up back in prison. But like we said at the beginning of this conversation, we're gonna see at the end of this conversation, that's where God played a big part. All that churching I went through, and let me tell you something, brother. I've been 25 twice. I've been 25 twice, 2 times.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them can't even get through their first 25. You hear me?
And it's a blessing to even live that, especially all the experiences you have been through.
And never in one day did I think that all that I went through, that God would use it for me for my good in the end. And I don't want, hold on. I don't want this to be the end.
It's not the end. It's more for you out there.
For the beginning of the end. How about that? For the beginning of the end. And I feel like this world, we just need a revival, man. We need a revival, man. There's no tent set up. Nobody's praying for nobody no more. Nobody's lending hands. Don't nobody help nobody get up when they fall no more. They stomp them. They kick them while they down now. Very few are found that'll help you get up now.
That's true.
So the youth, when I was coming up as a kid, I heard some coming up in church. They say mothers against daughters, fathers against sons, and the world against each other. I said, hell no, we can't go against our daddy. I never see that. And right now today, I'm living in that same world that they talked about. I never believed that I would see. I thought you say something back to your mom, you're getting your butt for it. You talk back to your daddy, you showed out of there. But now I see them walking up, knocking their daddies out, stepping, beating up their dad, jumping on them, disrespect. And daddies are scared of them because I told them, y'all credit to Frankenstein. And when the Frankenstein growed up and woke up off that table, everybody ran from it. Everybody got scared. I'm saying that to say this. We created the generation that's out here today. And now that they're woke and they're alive and they're grown now, people are running, hiding, scared of what they created. I got 4 sons. I got 4 sons in prisons. I didn't, you know why I'm not running and hiding? Because I didn't create that. One thing I know in my life, I know how I raise my children. Like my mama told me, I didn't raise you that way. You hear me? So I see why she don't lose no sleep. I don't lose no sleep. I ain't finna grow a bag under my eye. I'm not finna get a gray hair and grow a bald spot worrying about what they doing. Because I thank God for one thing, that I got that phone call and I didn't get the other phone call. And I appreciate him for that. I'd rather for them say we got them locked up, bro, instead of we found them over here.
Right.
That sounds better. But I feel if this world had a revival, we'll do better, brother. And I appreciate those questions you asked me. You making it. I like that. You ask things that people can see a different side of what person be talking about.
Of course, and that's why I wanted to bring you on, because I feel like we needed to have that type of dialogue. But I really do appreciate you for coming on, and of course, we're gonna handle our business on the other side. But for my listeners out there, I want you to go ahead and let them know what's the future for you.
The future for me is the True Testament, y'all. Y'all stay in tune for the True Testament. OG Percy is the True Testament. You have read the old, you have read the new. It's the new millennium. I am the True Testament. What I mean by that, I'm only doing what God called me to do. If he let me talk to you, I turned down people yesterday, but I called you today. You hear me?
Of course.
You understand me?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I can, feel the energy and God leads me to who he wants me to talk. I am the True Testament. Y'all will be seeing a battle rap in the future. At the end of this year or the beginning of next year, you heard it first right here. And for us that, I am trying to stay focused and trying to build and not destroy in my neighborhood, man. That's all we trying to do. I really want
Amen.
to that's it. We just trying to build and not destroy, man. If I can get with somebody to help me build, I'm ready.
That's what it's all about. It's just
Yes,
building
sir.
and just growing from there and just becoming better than who you are the day
Yes,
before.
sir.
That's what I tell people all the time. But I want to thank you once again, Mr. Percy. You guys
Yes,
have a
sir.
legend on the line right now. And we're completing this interview. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Power 109 family. If I can get you, OG Percy, to go ahead and shout out Power 109 Radio right here live for us once again.
Okay. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to that Power 109 Radio, man. I am in her, OG Percy, man. One love.
All right, we out. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Talk with Turk. You guys, I want to thank y'all for continuing to listening to my show. Shout out to our Power 109 radio team for this opportunity. This is the first episode of my show, and I hope you guys have enjoyed thus far. I told you guys I was going to keep the surprises rolling and keep them coming. The next person that I have on the line with me is someone that have interviewed with me when I was doing my podcast on the regular platforms. Now she has come back to give us a brief update on her life, on her career, and everything else post Jocelyn's Cabaret on TV from Zeus. So welcome, Sapphire, to Power 109 Radio with me. How you doing, Sapphire?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm good.
Of course, I want to thank you once again for doing this for me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you know that I'm thankful for everything that you have done for me.
No problem. I appreciate you too.
So I know, it's been a while since we talked, and the last time you were on my show, we talked about your single, For Your Love. And I want to follow up with you now and see where's your career now? What are you doing? What music are you working on? I want the people to know what you got going on now.
Well, currently, I've just been really getting prepared for my journey next month. Going out the country, finally, getting my procedure to make sure that my health is better.
Okay.
So I do plan on working on music while I'm over there, writing some more songs. I really did enjoy my first project, For Your Love. So now I'm just ready to, heal up and share more of my music journey with the world.
I know that's right. And to mention For Your Love, that was a great single. So I am excited for what's to come next for your career. So I think everybody who's listening, go ahead and stream For Your Love. We're going to also put it in the episode as well. Power 109 Radio will stream her music. So if you need to Shazam it, to put it in your Apple library or Spotify library, however you guys do it, make sure you get it done and support Sapphire. Now, next thing I want to ask you, Sapphire, is we all know you, and you were a fan favorite of Jocelyn's Cabaret, and we all loved you. That's how I became to love you. And I want to know, is reality TV done for you? Do you think that lane is done for you? Because we would be excited to see you back on TV in some sort of capacity.
Yeah, so basically, I feel there's more things to come. I definitely love TV. I want to get in more like serious roles, acting. Reality TV is definitely fun, but I would like to pursue my career further. For sure, definitely. So I don't think that, it'll be the last that you guys see of me. Bigger things are to come.
Okay. Could you give us an idea of what type of spaces that you'll be holding or, be in when it comes to TV?
Well, I feel like because of the way people look at me on like a leader, a role model type of role, I do have bigger ideas on, like, some is involving helping others, and some ideas are involving the happiness of myself. So,
right.
You have to just stay tuned to see what's going on.
Okay. Now, last thing I do want to ask you, we saw the state of culture for the things that the Zeus Network is going through with that franchise. We won't speak about it, but do you think that you could possibly lead a show or like some sort of group for women who are living, as strippers and women who are just making money in the industry, entertainment industry? Do you think that you could lead some sort of revolution, start a show for those type of women in the correct way that we should, or is that something that you probably would not be interested in doing based off the lifestyle?
If the opportunity occurred, I would take full advantage of it, because there's so many good-hearted women that want to change. They want to
Yes.
be in a different light. They're tired of being looked at that way, and people truly don't know their story, and I would say I was one of them. So
Right.
I definitely would not mind if the opportunity occurred for me to help other ladies that's on that journey. You know what I'm saying? To be positive and know that trap house is not forever.
Okay, I know that's right, and that's one thing that drew me to you on the show as well. Like, I saw how authentic you were, how you like to lead, and how just passionate you were about your work and the things that you do. So that's why you became a fan favorite of mine as well. So,
Thank you so much.
of course, I just wanted to acknowledge that. But I do want to thank you. I'm not going to hold you up today. We were going to keep this very short. We do only have an hour for Power 109 Radio, and I wanted to make sure I fit as many surprises as I could into this one episode. So, Sapphire, tell the people where they can find you. Tell them anything you want them to know as far as promotional wise. The floor is yours.
I will be starting a YouTube channel. I will be blogging my journey out the country for ladies that want to know about me removing my shots. You guys can find me on TikTok and Instagram, 325 Sapphire 325 on IG. So,
all right, y'all heard it here first. Now, Sapphire, could you give us a short shout out for Power 109 Radio?
Thank you guys for tuning in to Power 109, and we appreciate you so much.
All right, thank you, Sapphire, and you have a good day.
You
and
too.
All of my listeners, thank you. All of my listeners out there, we will be ending the show very shortly with some music, and we'll just break down the episode a little bit. So we'll be right back. Thank you once again. Do you want the tea? Well, simply talk with TURKBISH. Just talk with me. Thank you guys for tuning in to the world premiere of Talk with TURKBISH radio podcast on Power 109 Radio. Once again, I want to thank the Power 109 family, Blaze, for giving me this opportunity as well, and everybody else who is involved in the production of this. Shout out to DJ Juice for mixing in the beginning of the episode. Follow her, you guys, on all platforms as well. She's a dope DJ, and she's amazing as well. So thank you, DJ Juice. I appreciate you, and it's only up from here. You guys, you can also check out the podcast and all the other episodes that I will be uploading between now and the next episode that premieres on Power 109. I will be doing this every other Sunday. So you guys, I'll do episodes for you guys on the other platforms in between, just to keep you guys entertained, because I can't let my listeners just go by the wayside on my other platforms as well. So I'm going to do everything consecutively and together, cohesively, make sure it all comes together. And you can follow me on all platforms. Check me out on all platforms: Spotify, Anchor, Audible, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Spotify, if I didn't say it already. Shout out to Spotify, Anchor. I love all of you guys. There's many more platforms that you guys can go and listen to me on. All you got to do is type in Talk with TURKBISH in Google. Yes, I'm an entity. Talk with TURKBISH in Google, and all of my platforms will show up. You'll also see my Linktree /TURKBISH, where you can find all of my platforms. Also, go to turkbish.myspreadshop.com and get some merch. I have merch made for everybody. It doesn't just include my logo. It has different things made for everybody, different sizes, different colors. You can customize. Check that out as well, you guys. And follow me on all platforms. Instagram @TurkBish, Snapchat @TurkBish, Kick @TurkBish, TikTok @TurkBish, Twitter @TurkBish, and I have 3 different Twitters, so follow all 3 of them. If you type @TurkBish in the search bar, all of them will pop up. On my Facebook @TheRealTurkBish. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm going to make sure I bring you good content to this platform. Shout out to Power 109 Radio once again. Don't forget, do you want the tea? Well, simply talk with TurkBish. Just talk with me.
Hey, I always listen.
Tune in 24/7. Power 109 Radio.